This is Sportscentre.
Hey, I'm Marissa Roberto and don't look now. But the Blue Jays are struggling a little as the race for the AL East heats up. Toronto has lost 6 of its last 8 games, and they've seen the division lead fall to just 3 games. Over this 8-game stretch, the Jays have given up 66 runs, which seems like a fake number because that averages out to just over 8 runs a game. The opposing team has put up 8 or more runs in 5 of Toronto's last 8 outings. And to make matters worse, the bats have gone ice cold along with the pitching. 4 runs is basically the maximum output over the stretch, as Toronto has hit that exact run total, or less, in 7 of their last 8. Now, we mentioned the division lead, and when we look at the AL East standings, it's Boston, not New York, in second. With only 3 games remaining against the Red Sox this season, there aren't a lot of opportunities to make up ground if it comes to that. The good news, though, is the Jays head to Colorado to play the worst team in baseball. It's officially August, and while the dog days of summer are starting to stack up for hockey fans, there's some good news. This is the last month without any NHL hockey until July of next year. And in honor of hockey slowly making its way back, today we look at 3 NHL players that are poised to bounce back in 2025. Let's start with someone that I think we can all agree hockey is better off when he's playing well. Because just 3 years ago, Trevor Zegras is being viewed as the next big thing after going back-to-back 60-point seasons. While injuries have played a factor, he has failed to eclipse the 32-point mark since, and seemed to lose that trademark flair and confidence that made him so exciting as a youngster. Still just 24, Zegras has an exciting new season ahead of him in Philadelphia, and has plenty of time to turn things around. And speaking of new beginnings, how about new Habs defenseman Noah Dobson? The Habs made a huge splash on draft day, acquiring Dobson for 2 first-round picks and Emil Heineman, and then signed Dobson to an 8-year contract, paying him $9.5 million per season. A contract that may seem a bit steep, considering he recorded just 39 points in 71 games last season. But the Habs are banking on him producing at a much similar rate to the seasons before, where he recorded 10 goals and 60 assists. Just 25, Dobson joins an exciting young core in Montreal, and this refresh should see him get back in the elite defenseman conversation. And finally, we gotta close out in the crease. It's often said if you have good goaltending, you have a good team. And unfortunately for the Boston Bruins last season, they had neither, as they surprisingly dropped to the bottom of the Atlantic after 8 straight years of making the playoffs. Fresh off a contract holdout that nearly went into the start of the season, Jeremy Swayman set a career worst goals against average, save percentage, and wins. But in 2025, we should be seeing more of the Swayman we've become accustomed to, and that's largely in part to the health of the team's decor. Both Hampus Lindholm and Charlie McAvoy expect to be ready by training camp, giving the Bruins a much stronger decor than they've had a season ago. A healthy Bruins team should meet an elite-level Jeremy Swayman, meaning we shouldn't get used to the Bruins finishing with the worst record in the Atlantic. I know, wild, right? It's August, and I'm already worried that the Leafs have to play the Bruins in playoffs again. This is not healthy. To tennis now, and if you're not familiar with the name, you should get used to it. 18-year-old Victoria Mboko is on an incredible run at the National Bank Open. And after beating top seed Coco Gauff in just 62 minutes over the weekend, she finds herself in the quarterfinal tonight against Spaniard Jessica Bozas-Monero. Mboko entered the year ranked outside the top 300, and the win over Gauff skyrocketed her to 53 in the live rankings. The 18-year-old enters play on Monday, with 50 wins and just 9 losses in all competitions this season. Mboko, who entered the tournament as a wild card, is the youngest Canadian to make the quarterfinals at the NBO since 1987. Female athletes, Canadian athletes, women on top, baby, I love it. To Formula One now, where we've officially entered our summer break. So let's welcome in our favorite Timothy Harani. Hello, Tim.
Marissa.
So Tim, a very interesting season so far. What are your takeaways heading into the break?
I think my biggest takeaway is the competitiveness of the McLaren and the fact that no one's really been able to track them down and put a lot of pressure on that team. And, you know, if we take a look at some of these other teams like Red Bull Racing, I mean, that's just been a slow erosion at that team over the last few seasons. But then when we look at Ferrari and we look at Mercedes, they're really interesting to me because I think they have a lot of potential in both of their cars. It's just that they need to learn and figure out how to unlock the potential. I mean, Ferrari in particular, because at the Hungarian Grand Prix that just passed, I mean, Ferrari threw away a race victory there. And I think if they can really learn and understand how to unlock the potential in their car, I think that at some races, they can start to put pressure on McLaren. But these next 10 races, regardless, I think are going to be hard fought, even if it's between the 2 McLaren drivers or if we have some other teams sneaking in and stealing points away from them.
So what are your expectations heading into the rest of the year?
I expect this thing to pick up right where it left off. A hard fought championship battle between two drivers that are very matched on talent, with championship leader Oscar Piastri and his teammate Lando Norris. Just 9 points separate these two. And I think this championship battle is going to go all the way to the end at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. And I have to say that, I've seen a lot of teammate driver championship battles in my time, and I have to say that I think this is probably one of the closest teammate driver battles for an F1 title I think I've ever seen.
Thanks, Tim.
All right, thanks so much for having me, Marissa. Really appreciate it, and thanks, producer Mike, as well.
That's it for me today. We'll see you back tomorrow, 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. Have a good one.